Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tanya of Cute and Cuddly Nursery. I have Charlotte here by Laura Lee Eagles. See if I can hold her straight. The camera's over my shoulder, so it's kind of hard. So I started her with Genesis heat set paints, but I forgot that Genesis heat set paints, when you go to blend, it will take the paint off when blending, and so now I've been using the Golden brand paints for so long, which is air dry. I'm not used to the paint going anywhere when I go to blend it. It just blends. So anyhow, I was gonna show creasing today of her little feet. I'm just trying to make sure I'm going to be within the camera. So I've already, oh, and here's her, I'll show her belly plate as well. I need to do a little bit more creases as well on that. She is a little dusty. I apologize for that. She has been sitting for a little while, so I'm just now getting to her. So I've mixed this color here for creases, which is just a bit of this naphthol. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I guess it's medium, or red medium. So, oh, there's a sticker on the bottom. But anyway, here's the color of red that I used, and then I also used burnt umber, just a bit more of that compared to the red. So like 2 drops of the burnt umber to 1 part of the medium red. And so my color is kind of a, if it'll show, it's kind of a red, purpley red. I don't know how to, oh, some of it has solidified. But anyhow, so I did put in a little bit of retarder, but not very much, just very, very little. I saw a hair on the end of that, and I don't want it on there. But, so, oh, there's the hair. I'll grab it really quick, because we don't want that. So this is the brush I'm using, nothing fancy. I just dab it on the paper towel. And I also have a sponge here that is my blending sponge. A little bit of water in it. And then, I'm not sure, just got a little bit of a spot there. Let's see if I can zoom in. And then I just paint across like a couple of creases, not too many, and then I blot. So she still needs more color, of course, more blushing, but I thought I would do some creases today. Oops. It's okay if you get outside, because we blend it with the sponge anyway, and it's fine. And this brush, normally I would use like a thinner one, but I don't know what happened to my thinner ones. I think I've used them or lost them. I don't know where they go. They are here somewhere, I think. It's hard to say. Sometimes the cats get on my table and probably knock stuff off. So it's okay if we get a little outside of the crease. We're blending anyway, so it'll, the sponge mostly catches it. Otherwise it'll become blushing as well, and she needs blushing on her foot anyway. Doesn't have very much. Just did a little layer before, so. Oh, excuse me. This baby is spoken for, so she is not available. But I'm thinking of getting another kit at some point as well. I was working on my cuddle baby, Tessa, today, and I really wanted to finish the cuddle body for that one, and realized I don't have enough 55 millimeter joins, which is the most popular size I use besides 45 millimeter. So I went ahead and oops, that's a little too much red. There we go. Ordered some from McPherson's. Since I did put in an order, I ordered some kits from someone online, and I'm trying to think how long ago now, but they should have been here already, and they're not. The Canada side shows that they're still waiting for the item to arrive from the US. However, the US side says that it has entered Canada and is on its way, like got out of customs and all that, and is on its way to me. But it's weird because Canada doesn't show any of that, just says it's still waiting for the package. And I'm not sure, like, I don't want to call and bother them because I feel like they're going to tell me the same thing, like it's in transit or we're still waiting. So, I don't know. I've been getting things from the US pretty quick, and now it's slowed down again. So, I don't know what's going on. I forgot about my tablet. I was uploading some of the real Charlotte pictures so that I had reference for this baby. And it's an older tablet. I had it quite a while ago, and then I stopped using it. And then my son was using it, and now he's not using it anymore because it's super slow. And so I decided I would use it to bring up like reference photos. Like I like to bring up baby reference photos for painted hair, for skin tone, and then I also wanted for this baby too, and it was loading up okay, and I was able to do a search for the pictures. Oops. And then now I'm trying to do two things at once and it's kind of hard. It shut off itself and started acting like it was restarting. So, and my husband was here for lunch, but I forgot to ask him. Oops. I forgot to ask him to look at it. So now I'll have to ask him later. A new tablet would be wonderful for this, but I don't use it very often. It mostly just sits, waits for me to use it, kind of thing. So, and like I said, nobody else uses it because it's old I want to say it's like 7 at least. And so it's super slow. But it's good when it wants to work. This is not the best brush for this, I'll tell you that already. Okay. So we'll just bear with it though. It does work, it's just not the best. Not ideal. So now I gotta try to find her pictures again, but while I'm doing creases, it's fine. I just need it for the rest of the skin tone because she is a bit pale. At least compared to how I would paint a newborn skin tone. So I'm going to end up doing the creases pretty dark. That's because I end up losing them after doing a bunch of paint layers. And I found if I do them a bit darker, I don't lose them as much later on. Veining too, I've noticed I lose veining quickly and easily. I wonder if this just does not want to paint in the creases. Let's see, I don't think I have any. Maybe this brush. These poor brushes, they looked nice before, if I can, but it gets wet because of the paint. So here's the end of the brush, if it'll focus. There we go. So they get wet and then the paint starts coming off of the handles, and yeah, so this is how it looks now, but there, this is better. That way it gets right in the lines. And then I just blot it. I know a lot of people have trouble with creases, and if you just make it a little bit, there's a hair on here, a little bit dry, I dab it, try to get as much paint off in the dish and then dab on paper towel, and then that way it's not too wet, because you don't want it super wet either. Okay, so these are not as dark as I want. Pretty light actually. And like I said, they get lighter the more paint layers I add. So I try to make them darker just so I don't have to go over them a bunch of times later. A little paint spot, don't want that on there. And you don't want your creases too red, because then they start looking like little cuts. And you don't want little cuts in the for creases. It's kind of blending and then letting the other creases dry. And I'm only doing a little bit at a time, as you can tell, because I don't want paint drying before it's blended. Then that doesn't look good. She doesn't have a whole lot of creases, but I end up going over them probably 6 or 7 times, just to make sure that the color is there. And they're still a little light for my liking. Oh, and I ordered a new kit when I ordered more joints, because joints were $9 US. Oops, completely missed that. $9 US, and I like to spend $100 to get the free shipping. So I ordered a kit. So I will get a box opening video of the kit once it arrives. It's not a limited edition. It's an open edition kit. It's just one that I've been like drooling over for a while. And I was like, well, I need one to make it $100. So, and I ordered a few joints as well, because that 55 millimeters as well as 45, 55, and 65 are actually very common for me to use. Size-wise for bodies. So I have those ordered, and hopefully McPherson's will send them out today. That would be great. And even with FedEx, they still don't get to me for a week, and I'm in Canada as well, so just kind of slow here. But Canada's always been slow with shipping and things. I know if I send something to the US, it's usually slow on the Canada side, and once it gets to the US, it's like to the person right away. There's a little bit of a hair stuck. Oh, now I've lost my brush. Rinse that out. Okay, I'm looking for, oh wait, I put down the wrong thing. I want that. I want the toothpick. Oops. Oh man, I'm just dropping everything. Clumsy today. So she had a little bit of hair stuck in the primer, so I try to gently, if there's any hairs or anything, gently take it out with a toothpick. I do have some rooting needles here, some forked ones, so that I can use them as well if I can't get it with the toothpick, so that helps. Okay, so you can see I've done the creases on the foot, but the toes I haven't got to yet. So here's the bottom of the foot. So here, I'll grab her other foot because I haven't done the creases on them yet. And there's a little white speck, get that off there. So here's one foot without the creases done at all. So, oh, I was gonna put the wrong foot back, that wouldn't be good. So her creases still aren't dark enough, like I'm gonna lose them if I leave them like that. So I'm just going over them again. There we go, and then Like, I think I'm gonna do like a purpley red model next, and then that should give her more color. Like I said, I'm trying to use the real baby pictures that Laura has of Charlotte, and try to match as best as I can. But her pictures are, the baby looks blue. I kind of want to blend these with a dry brush. And this brush has been used for this several times because if it wants to focus. There we go. It is pretty worn by me using it for blending. And so anyhow, I was trying to take some of the blue out of the pictures, because like I said, it's just really blue. Where did that toothpick go? Oh, there. I need like a little toothpick holder or something. There we go. So, yeah, the pictures, I'm going to try taking some of the blue out because we don't want a blue Charlotte. I want her to look, of course, as close to the real baby as possible. Oh, I hope my head's not like taking over the whole thing. And I want her mommy to be happy with her. And so that's why I'm making her look like the real baby as well. So there's just like some barely there creases on her toes. So I'm just going to go back over. Creases on her toes again. Blot them. I need to go over the creases between her toes again. This is adding color to the toes as well. Going over them several times. Okay, this a little black spot on this little toe. Don't want it there. Alright. Paint those little creases again. There's barely any paint on here. I've ignored the big toe so far, but how do I... Oh, there we go. See a little bit of color. I'm quite yellow compared to her. But I really like my yellow skin tone, but I don't usually make the babies yellow. I give them a more red newborn tone. Just because I really like that color better. I am like a reddish yellow anyway, but I just really like the more pink tones on the babies. I don't know if this is in focus or not, or can see what I'm doing. But let's see, we got a little bit of a crease down here at the toes. I'm just gonna blend. I grab a little bit of water and then do the toe around the crease around the toe here. And there's like a little paint spot there. It's dried paint because of I'm taking it from the edge of the dish, and it starts to dry, so then I can't get in there I pick up the dry. Alright, so I'm just gonna use a brush to blend that in there. And this poor little toe hasn't got as much color on as the others because it doesn't have as many creases on it. But the sponge gets to be, filled with paint, so I will actually use it to go over. I haven't even touched her nails yet. I'll use it to go over the toes and things. This one toe I haven't even got to yet. There's no coloring on it. But yeah, and it has a little bit of color, which is good. So I can go over it. Now, to get the backs of the knees, I like to use a paintbrush, and so then I just put the leg in, and then I kind of force it open a bit so that I can actually get in there. And then I just blot the paint mix, or the blend, rather. And then I'll go, like I said, I go over the creases several times. So I'll probably still go over this even more. There's a bit of a crease out here too. So. Figures whenever, if I'm not doing anything, I don't get any messages. As soon as I'm busy, messages start pouring in. It's like, come on, I'm busy now. I have to wait. I thought I touched. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Blend, blend, blend. Still not as dark as Sorry about that. That just cut me off. I think I talked too much or something. The video it only records 30 minutes, so I guess that's how I know if I've made too long of a video. It shuts off. Okay. Well, let's see. I could end the video and then I can come back once I've finished the creases and show how they look. And then do the blushing. Because this kind of blushes too, right? When I blend, it like pushes the paint out around as well. Then I can come back and show you how I blush or add more blush. Like I said, I haven't done the other foot. I don't even know if I've done any on her hands. I don't remember. I just got so discouraged. When I did some layers, it was fine. But then I started doing like some blushing on her face. And I went to use a sponge that I'd put some thinner on to help blend, and it was erasing, not blending. And so I was like, oh no, what do I do now? Kind of thing. And I didn't want to strip her. So I ended up just, I wiped off all that I could of there's a little too much paint in there. Just use a toothpick to gently take off that excess paint. You don't want to rub too hard or you're going to remove the primer as well, and then you're going to not be happy. Okay, so I primed over top the Genesis paint, which has been cured. And so now I am painting her with golden air dry paint instead. So she will be shiny, which she is a bit shiny. You can see on her leg especially there. So she will remain shiny until I matte her. It's like silicone. They stay shiny until you matte them as well. So, and I've found that like they are a bit more like they lose some of the color with the matte. So I need to make a richer color. Then I think, and in that way it will look better when it's matted. It won't look like it's been a little bit washed out or whatever. Like Tessa, when I was painting that one, looked quite a bit more red than how she actually turned out after. There's a hair there. I still need to try this balloon trick. People were saying, well, not really a trick, but a tip, I guess, saying to put some balloons around your work area, and then that they will attract the lint instead of your babies. So I'm hoping to do that. Okay, so the creases on the legs are looking good. They're nice and dark and you can see them, but like I said, they still may disappear as I add more color layers because she's not done. She has a nice like light color, but I want more rich tones because otherwise when I matte this, it's not going to turn really light, but it will lighten a bit more. So. And I'm working on skin texture as well, trying to get some sort of skin texture like Genesis does. But of course with golden paints and not Genesis. Because I don't want to heat up the vinyl at all if I don't have to. Like a bunch of like barely there veins that I can hardly make out. I hope my head's not taking up the whole thing. I was worried about that. Like I like having the camera over me because then you can see better what I'm doing. But I don't like having my head in the way, of course. That doesn't help anybody. Okay. Normally I would have this like right up to my face trying to see everything, but if I do that I don't think anyone else will be able to see anything. There's a little hair there I'm going to have to try to get out. Little tiny little creases in the feet. And I did put veining in your feet. You can kind of see a little bit of blue, but not a whole lot. Okay, so I think I'm going to turn this off for now and finish her creasing, and then I'll come back and do a video. Let me grab the other foot. Other video of doing blushing. So anyhow, here are her 2 feet, if I can hold them straight. That's difficult. Okay, so anyhow, well, this is how they're supposed to go, but yeah, you can see the creases and no creases, and here's the top of the feet as well. It is cloudy today, so the sun's not super shining in here like normal. But anyhow, I'm gonna get back to work on her, and then I'll come back and do a bit of blushing. So, whoops, sorry about that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video.